Hey, welcome to Lost for Words. We're exploring great women poets, still continuing with Sylvia Plath. Actually, this is going to be my last video exploring Sylvia Plath for a little while. I just finished up her last poem that I'm going to explore for a while, and this will be my last journal entry before we move on to Maya Angelou, which I'm really excited about. But oh my god, I had such a hard time choosing a quote from her journal for this last journal exploration because there's so many good ones. Like, I could probably spend, I've only read like to there. This is all I've read in her journals. And I feel like there's like 30 more quotes that I could explore and talk about. So I can't imagine how many more I'm gonna find as I finish reading her journals. Like, it's almost like it's terrible having to choose. But for now, this is gonna be the last one, and we will definitely be coming back to Sylvia Plath and more of her poetry and more of her journal entries later on in the future. But for now, we are going to leave Sylvia Plath with this quote, and I feel like it's perfect. And I actually relate to this quote quite a bit. I remember having felt this feeling before in my life. This is what it says. I love people, everybody. I love them. I think as a stamp collector loves his collection. Every story, every incident, every bit of conversation is raw material for me. My love's not impersonal, yet not wholly subjective either. I would like to be everyone, a cripple, a dying man, a whore, and then come back to write about my thoughts, my emotions as that person. But I am not omniscient. I have to live my life, and that is the only one I'll ever have. And you cannot regard your own life with objective curiosity all the time. I love this quote because you can tell that I feel like in this quote you get a sense of Sylvia Plath's desire to do like everything and experience everything. Like, what is it, FOMO, like fear of missing out, like like she wants to understand like the broader human experience on a like real personal level, and then be able to create art out of it. She wants to write about it. And to me, that's fascinating. I remember at one point in my life when I was a lot younger, I might have been like early 20s probably, but I remember having this feeling like that I hadn't experienced very much in my life. I don't know, I wouldn't say I was like sheltered, but I just felt like when I looked around the world, it seemed like there was so many different kinds of people and experiences. And I guess I just remember having that feeling of wanting to understand what it was like to be another person and how people ended up the way they ended up. Yeah, and I remember going through this phase, I think maybe because I was somebody that I always I felt so strongly about doing, like trying to do what was right and trying to be good. I remember going through a phase where I was like, I wanted to understand people that that were kind of more the people that the world looked at as bad. Like, I remember wanting to read books about people who went to prison and like people I remember getting a book about a girl who was like really promiscuous, and it was from her perspective, and it was a true story. Like, there was some part of me that like really wanted to understand like what it was like to be that person and make those decisions, and what it felt like why they went down those paths. So I feel like I really relate to Sylvia Plath's desire to have like a broader understanding of humanity. And you can tell that how much she loves to express the like inside of herself, like that she loves to like dive down into her, maybe her own person, explore her own self. And it's hard because like when you're looking at all these different kinds of people out there, like she said, I would like to be everyone: a cripple, a dying man, a whore, and then come back to write about my thoughts, my emotions as that person. Like if you look at someone who's like, if you know, have both of your legs are working, you get to go through life, you know, with both of your legs working. And then you look at this person who is crippled, like you have to use your imagination to try to understand what it's like to be that person. But Sylvia Plath, it's like, I feel like she almost realizes that how limited of an experience that is, just trying to like use empathy, like to look at another person and imagine what it's like to be them. Like she has, it seems like she has this desire to like crawl inside this person and experience like all their emotions, all their thoughts, and what it's like to make their decisions day after day, and to feel their feelings, like their hopes and their despairs. Like, I don't know, I think that's a really cool thing to think about. And you can feel this a lot of times in this journal. I've only like, what page am I on? I'm on like page 108. So all throughout here, I feel like she has these little blippets of that idea that she wants to know what it's like to be everybody. Because you really can't be everybody. She has another quote. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. That's something about, but I am I now, and so many other millions are so irretrievably their own special variety of I that I can hardly bear to think of it. I, how firm a letter, how reassuring the 3 strokes, one vertical, proud and assertive, and then 2 short horizontal lines in quick, smug succession. The pen scratches on the paper. I. When you read that, she realizes, you can feel her realizing like how many millions of different like people are out there, and they each get to say I, and it means there's a whole being that's behind their I. And I love that journal entry where she says that, and the pen scratches on the paper, I. Like, I don't know if you remember from her poem, I think it was Daddy. Like, there's this point in it where she's trying to speak her father's language, and she can barely get out the word I, and she's saying I. Like, she wrote it just like that right here. I don't know. So to me, it's very cool to see her like realizing like she is her own, like she's her own person, she's her own I, and like you can explore your own self, and there's like incredible depths that you can explore in your own person, And it's just amazing to think of all the millions of other people that are out there who say I, and they have these whole beings behind them, these whole depths beneath the surface of that I, this experience that they've lived. And Sylvia Plath, she is so limited in her experience of this life. She's so limited in her experience. She has herself to explore, but she cannot be all these people. She cannot live their lives and know what it would be like to be them. So it makes me think of art and how important it is that we express things, or how important art is, like songs, painting, poetry, that when we encounter a person's art and it's come from the depths of them, when we encounter a person's expression, we get to taste like a little bit of those, of the inside of a person, the what's beneath the surface. And even though Sylvia Plath can't be everyone, I think it's cool to think that through exploring, reading, music, art, painting, that you can taste other people's worlds just a little bit. I think that's exciting. Do you feel like Sylvia Plath? Do you feel like you're so limited in your experience? Are you that much of an artist that you can barely stand to think of only experiencing your own experience, that you wish you could be other kinds of people just so you could come back and write about it and make art about it? I don't know. I think it's a little creepy, but I think it shows the level of her desire to understand humans, which I think is really cool. I wanted to end this series on that quote because I felt like it was sort of like it shows a lot of her personality and it feels a little bit positive. There's so many quotes I could have chose. Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. So we will leave that there, but we will be back again. We will come back again to Sylvia Plath, and I have a feeling we're going to explore so many of her quotes because there's so many good ones. But anyways, I hope you're having a great week. I'll see you again next time.